What's up everyone, Stoeman here, welcome to another episode. So on today's episode, I've asked 24 NFT artists what is one important thing a newbie NFT artist would need to get started with NFTs. Let's see what they had to say. So with that said, let's get out there and see what kind of amazing NFTs we can find today. Now remember, this is not financial advice, these are just some amazing NFTs we're showcasing from around the world. Now let's get started. So before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to view more pieces from the NFT artist or contact the NFT artist, their information will be in the description below. If you'd like to read a short bio from the artist, that will be in the comment section below. Now let's get started. Max says, the most important thing for a new NFT artist is to believe in themselves, build connections with other artists, be kind and humble. Being consistent is key. Collectors look for artists who are constant and who are building the community. Over time, you will make great friends as you build your reputation. So remember to have fun and help others. Great collection. Keep up the amazing job. Abstrack NFTs. Abstrack NFTs says, I believe the one most important thing is just to make art. I'm a new artist with 0 sales at this time, but that could change at any moment because I committed to making art. Everything else will either come or you will figure it out on your own. But if you don't make art, nothing could ever start. Great collection. Keep up the great work. Anghelina says, I think the most important thing to start with is talent, then creativity, stamina, and luck. If you have all these, you can create your own community. Then it'll be a habit to share the work you love with people. Great collection. Keep up the great work. AnimeSCRIBLER says, the most important thing for an NFT artist is not to get down when you start and there are no improvements. You have to keep on moving and trying even if you're tired. Great collection. Keep up the great job. Blackhydar says, I think the most important thing a beginner must have is the heart to accept failure and learn from it. A basic knowledge of crypto is also required. I had to learn about Matic and how to exchange from scratch when I got my first sale. The reason why is that I was busy learning NFTs and NFT related terminologies and I did not focus on learning in-depth crypto. Some nice people helped me out and I was able to withdraw my first sale. So I think it is very important. And also to build a community, that cannot be overemphasized. Even if that community consists of a few friends on Twitter, at the very least you know some certain people will definitely show some solidarity to your work. Love this collection. Keep up the great job. Blockchain Goons says, as a new NFT artist, you need to know your niche, because it helps to develop an art that will reach your target audience. Great collection. Keep up the great job. BozzCatz says, the most important thing is a unique idea. Don't copy others. Inspiration is good, but create something unique like our collection. This looks like a great project. Keep up the amazing job. Cathedrals Art says, I think for new artists, same as for new projects, it's very important to have a strong community around. It's hard to build a community for a project the organic way, but it's definitely worth it at the end, because they will be fans of the project and will support you in bad or good times. Same goes for you as a single artist. You should be a part of the community you like, where other artists will support you, where you always have a speech so collectors will see you. Community is very important. Without it, even if you're super great and rich, you are nothing. Great collection. Keep up the great work. Cool Worlds NFT says, to make an NFT, a new artist should take care of creativity and show their skills in an interesting and entertaining way. Great collection. Keep up the great work. Ekaterina TrofiArt says, what does an aspiring NFT artist need? probably patience. Not everyone immediately receives sales at first, which motivates them to create further. You need to be patient, talk about yourself on Twitter, be active, and not lose heart. Great collection. Keep up the amazing job. Feine. Feine says, one thing a new NFT artist needs is perseverance. Right from the start, from thinking of themes, the whole creation process, up to putting the item on sale, an artist needs to persevere. It's not easy. It looks easy when you're not yet starting, but when you're already there, you'll realize that what you thought at first was wrong, especially when the item is already listed. Waiting for someone to stumble upon your creation and hoping they will like it. When you can't sell anything, the thoughts of giving up will come, but always think of the goal. Thinking about that will give you the courage to continue and create more. Great collection. Keep up the great work. Goatamigma. Goatamigma says, the one thing that NFT artists must know before starting is to create something that gathers attention. Because the more attention the project gets, the more are its chances to generate sales. Amazing collection. Keep up the great work. Lachance Richard. Lachance Richard says, I think the most important thing a new NFT artist would need to get started is to be true with the spirit in his heart. That's the root. If you have no roots, you will have no strength to give to your NFT's inner life. Without you, and to fly with wind and to be part of time eternity. So we have an important responsibility with the rising of NFTs, to fight for transmitting to future generations that yes, there is a time for death, degradation, and pain. But they're always in the midst, in the deepest darkness, who sometimes win against us. A light between roots of the stars that will rise in the midst of breath and hope. Love the passion in your work. Keep up the amazing job. Money Tree Magicians NFT. Money Tree Magicians NFT says, one important thing a new NFT artist would need to get started is to create a large NFT collection. Ask yourself, who is your target market? Size, demand, and competition in that niche. How would I market it? Marketing budget. Think of it in terms of building a business, then create the art from there. It is important because you can create amazing art but have no buyers. If you build something with no demand or tough competition and you don't have a competitive advantage, marketing budget, or plan of action, you will have a hard time being successful. Amazing project. Keep up the amazing job. MRose Gaeto. MRose Gaeto says, the one important thing a new NFT artist would need to get started is to believe in yourself and your craft, even if it's small at first and builds over time. It's important because as that self-confidence builds, it plays a major role in the creative process and unleashes your full potential. I'm definitely a dog person. Love your collection. Keep up the amazing job. Mystery.arty. Mystery.arty says, the most important thing, in my opinion, for an artist is to love their work and be patient. This is important because only by doing what you love, you can work long and hard and not burn out. And patience is needed because the world of NFT is so arranged. The result can be both in a month and a few months after the start of work in this area. And since we are here forever, this should not embarrass us, and thus stop. Great work. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. NFT Collections. NFT Collection says, a new NFT artist must be familiar with a new customer's taste and work in styles that are customer friendly so that the artist stands out. Great collection. Keep up the great work. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. NFT Bull. NFT Bull says, a beginner artist needs faith. Faith in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you will succeed. I never drew before and decided to try it out right away. Nothing worked, but I believed in myself, and I succeeded. Great work. Keep up the amazing job. Pakistani Pixels. Pakistani Pixels says, one thing an NFT artist would need to get started, in my opinion, would be a team. They would need a team of people they can trust and rely on. Having a team has many benefits. The workload is distributed so that the artist does not need to do everything at once. Having a team also means having people with different specialities, which is always helpful. A team is one of the most important things an artist would need to have to get started with their own collection. Great collection. Keep up the amazing job. Solana Freaks. Solana Freaks says, the most important thing is patience. Everyone just can't wait. Great collection. Keep up the great job. SZ9. SZ9 says, the first thing an NFT artist needs the most is a platform to mint their work on. NFTs are not only JPEGs. NFTs could be any digital media or asset that you would like to put on a blockchain tree. Choosing platforms is important because there are many platforms that are considered good for one-of-one, and there are some platforms that are good for editions. Also, there are multiple blockchain technologies that you can mint on. If your budget is not high, you can mint on the Tezos platform. And if you have some ETH to spend, there are ETH platforms you can mint on. Great collections. Keep up the amazing job. The seventh Grapher.eth. The seventh Grapher.eth says, one important thing a new NFT artist would need is trust and consistency. Putting out your piece with a lot of creators is no joke. Still looking forward to my first sale though. I'm sure your first sale is coming shortly if you have trust that it's coming, and if you keep coming out with new pieces consistently. Keep up the great work. Tobin Carter. Tobin Carter says, my advice for new creators is talk to lots of people in the NFT community and find people to work and collaborate with. This will help you make good connections in the community to increase the reputation of your project. Great project. Keep up the amazing job. War Machine Labs. War Machine Labs says, I think the first thing an NFT artist should have is a clear idea about what style the collection is going to take and focus on it under the same style. The second thing is not to think about money. Money comes after effort. You have to focus on it as something secondary. If not, you have already failed before you start. The third thing is to make your art with passion. It's not an obligation. You do it because you like it and focus only on what you like. Do not do it for money because what you get is frustration. And last but not least is time. Set your limits or daily goals and respect them. You cannot work on your NFT if you're tired or frustrated. I think it's not productive. Very cool collection. Keep up the great work. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the whole way through. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash the like button and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to be featured on the next episode, just DM me on Twitter. The instructions are in the description below. A huge thank you to all the NFT artists for their submissions today. Don't forget that the NFT artists have left their bios in the comment section, so make sure to check those out. We'll see you next week. Until then, keep on creating.